Oh, I can't just sit around and chat. I have to be productive while this goes on. I gotta be productive tonight. Got all these CDs. I haven't even going through to make sure that they're even in workable condition. I'm so far behind this week because I got so much going on. This cover art is just dope from back in the day. Like, CDs don't got cover art like this no more, you know? I probably should be running the JFJ too while I do this. Knock out 10 birds with one stone. The JFJ going. Wiping down CDs. It's days like this I wish I had a storage unit where I could just drop all my stuff off. But I don't feel like overpaying for a unit just to say I have one, you know? Yeah, this music's crazy, man. This hardcore classic rock stuff. Like, if I collect it, I'd definitely probably keep most of this stuff. Most of it's in pretty good shape. I don't have to run most of it, but I mean, I got a decent pile so far. It's just so dusty. This guy had all these CDs in the garage. I was just like full of dust. I love this crap they put on these CDs. FBI warning. Don't copy this CD or that's it. You're going to do hard time. Nope. I do the same exact thing every time. 2 drops on each side of the pad, the buffing pad. Run it for 2 minutes, and that's it. Wipe clean. Napster. Yeah, Napster, dude. Remember, then it was LimeWire. Man, I remember the MP3 players. I used to have every song. I didn't pay nothing for none of them. Download them. You get all kinds of viruses on your old computers. So, like, your parents are yelling about it because, you know, the computer doesn't even run anymore because all the junk you were downloading off LimeWire and Napster. I've been debating on making my CD condition very good. Since I go through all the trouble to make sure there's no scratches or anything else wrong with them, like, I feel like I make sure they're all in jewel cases that aren't cracked or anything. I feel like I'm just going to start listing these all as very good. It's not like I send ones in that don't have the artwork or anything, so. I don't know. It's a thought that ran across my mind. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. I don't know. I'm on the fence still. I hate pulling apart these CD cases. What do you mean, like a crack in the jewel case? Or like a crack in the seal? What's up, Stefan? Recommendation where you start sourcing from. I would literally just Google books, or not books, thrift stores in your area. So when you go ahead and Google thrift stores in your area, you don't want to be looking for like Goodwills. You want to be looking for like small ones, you know, like Mike's Thrift Shop or Rob's Discount, you know, goods. You don't want to be relying on Goodwills and like Salvation Armies. I would just start with the smaller thrift shops in your area, and I would just put ads out on Craigslist for free, saying you pick up books, you do book cleanouts. You don't even have to pay for them starting out. You can just say, hey, you know, you got books you want to get rid of. I can come, you know, move them out of your place, clean them out free of charge. And you'd be surprised with what you can get for free when it comes to books, because people just want to get rid of them. But yeah, just Google thrift stores in your area. Look for ones, you know, that you probably never heard of, that you don't even know exist, and go to those first. That's going to be a telltale sign whether or not there's other people in your area actually scanning the stuff. Max profit you can make with books per month. That's a loaded question here, you know? Like, I could probably say, I mean, there's plenty of people that do over $100,000 a month in profit, but there's plenty of people that, you know, make $1,000 a month in profit. It's really just with Amazon, no matter what you're selling, whether it's books or, you know, if you're doing retail arbitrage, you get out what you put in. The more you send in, the more you're going to sell, the more you're going to make. Good target number to source each week. So perspective is, I have 2,500 items in Amazon right now. I sell 10 a day roughly, so I sell 70 a week. So 70 a week minimum. I would probably say starting out, you probably want to shoot for over 100 every week. And that's high or low depending on your area and how much you're sourcing. It can change. Yeah, sorry, Rob, I skipped over you there. It's a crack in a jewel case. Yeah, I probably wouldn't buy it unless it was really profitable. And even maybe if it's profitable, like used, very good, I'd probably go that route. But overall, if it's just new profitable, I would probably just leave it behind. Yeah, give it a try, Stefan. Let me know how it works for you. It's different everywhere, you know. Your stores are going to be different than mine. You thinking about doing online arbitrage? No chance. I don't like the lower return on an investment. So, you know, you buy $1 book, you're going to usually at least get $4 or $5 out of it. That puts you at, you know, 400% ROI. Online arbitrage, it's really capital intensive. Um, I know people say books are capital intensive, but online arbitrage is even worse because, you got to spend $1,000 to make, $200, $300. So I have no interest in straying anywhere away from media. Um, Between CDs, DVDs, and books, you can easily be six-figure seller and seven-figure seller once you get your processes down and a space to work out of. Yeah, but you can scale anything. You can scale books. I mean, what's stopping me from going to get a warehouse and buying mixed media pallets by the truckload? It's just nothing. Nothing's stopping me but me. And yeah, sure, it's harder work doing books than OA because I get what you're saying. You can send it to a prep center and all that. You really don't have to deal with any headaches, but it's just what you want to get, out of your business. What's up, Tommy boy? I put her to work today at that estate sale. She was sweating it out. She was sweating it out, and the people there. No, I don't do consignment. I usually my version of consignment when I hear that is I pay by the pound for books. So, you have your typical Craigslist free book pickup. I actually pay by the pound on Craigslist. So I have competition in my area. I have like 2 or 3 other people that do free book pickups, but I pay 15 cents a pound versus them that do free pickups. So that's kind of like my version of consignment. I just pay people straight up for their books, 15 cents a pound, and I haven't lost out on a deal yet. And at least the people get some kind of money out of it. And yeah, that's kind of my take on consignment. You need a lot of processes in place to track everything with consignment, and there's plenty of people that do it profitably because you don't got to pay for the inventory. You're basically just providing them a service, so you're getting it for nothing, and then you're just splitting the profits. So I can see how it can be profitable. I rather just know what's mine is mine and not have to figure out, hey, I owe you, $150 at the end of the month. I owe Deborah $150 at the end of the month. I just know it's all mine. All the money is mine. Yeah, them people at the estate sale, that was it's quite an eventful day. Nobody would move out of my way, and the bookshelves are upstairs. That's a good one. I think I'm gonna have to take that a sales rank snob. I'm gonna have to trademark that saying and use it like in videos. And then when people are like, "Oh, why are you calling people snobs?" I'll say, "I didn't think of it. Somebody else did." I don't care what the sales rank is. I hear it all the time. Some people won't touch books over 1 million rank. If there's a 1E score and the rank is 6 million, I'll buy it. I could care less just because how I reprice. Repricing aggressively allows you to take longer tail books because 9 out of 10 times when the sale comes, you're probably going to get it because you're going to be the lowest FBA. But yeah, I could care less what the sales rank is, honestly. I'd rather look at the E score and go from there. But I wouldn't automatically accept everything on Scout IQ, especially starting out. You got to kind of double check because it gets out of hand. Some books pull up different items. I'm sure it's happened to everybody in here. You scan a book and what do I do about the long-term storage fees? So I go in once a month, filter your inventory to active, and you can go in and basically once a month go in and remove all those books that are long-term storage. So you just keep up on that. Even the long-term storage fees, if it's not fourth quarter, they're not going to kill you that bad. So it's something you can just go in once a month, send out all your ones that are over a year old, go to active, filter by your oldest date. That's what I do. It's the easiest way for me, and I just have them liquidate it. Yeah, I reprice with, like Deb said, I use Reprice It. I love Reprice It. It works perfectly fine for a bookseller. It's not fancy. It's easy to set up and all that stuff. Are category restrictions a problem in books with a new Amazon account, or can sell most of them? Most of them sell. So when you're a brand new account, you're going to have like books that are going to be gated. They basically just don't want anybody hopping on and selling anything. So when you're new and you hit a book that says it's restricted, you can apply to sell it. And 9 out of 10 times when you apply to sell it as a new account, they're automatically going to approve you. So you're going to be able to sell 95% of books you're going to find out there that are profitable. And that's why most people start with books and then move on to something else, because there's really not that many hurdles you got to deal with. You'll be able to sell them all. I like estate sales at a couple today. All right, so I wouldn't say people are testy, Tommy boy. They're just in the way and they don't move. I mean, I'm carrying, a 40-pound box of books from the second floor from the attic, and people are just standing there in my way looking at me like, I got 10 heads. I'm like, there's no air conditioner up here. I'm literally, it looked like I've been out in the pouring rain. I'm so soaked in sweat. And I'm just like, can you ladies please just give me a little space to get by? But I'll tell you what, my hand cart made a huge difference today. I'm glad I spent the money and got that thing. So I was just carrying the books down from the second floor steps, and then at the bottom of the steps, I had my hand cart set up. So I'd load 2 boxes onto the hand cart and then take it out to the car. How long did it take me to go full time on this? So when I first started selling books on Amazon, I was working full time at CVS as a store manager, CVS Pharmacy, and I was working there about 50 to 60 hours a week. So when I started out, I was only sending in 1 box every 2 weeks. That's nothing. I mean, for example, you're going to be sending in much more than 1 box a week, most likely. So I started out real slow. So my numbers skewed. If I would have went full blown into it, I'd probably say it takes 3 to 6 months, depending on how hard you go into it. But yeah, I think that's reasonable. I started out slow. I didn't, I kept my job and got it to a point where, I was making basically the same amount of money doing this, so I could afford to quit. And that's what I would recommend. If you hate your job enough, you're going to make time to build your business up on the side. How many units of books on average are you getting each week? I probably send in anywhere from, if it's a slower week, 120. If it's a busier week, like this week, like I probably have, 250 CDs alone I'm going to send in. So this week I'll probably send in close to 500 items. So, I mean, it's really, it varies big time. It can be 100 one week and the next week, 500, 600. It's carrying 2. You just need one of those fart guns. How hard is hard? Like 100 books a week? If you can consistently send in 100 books a week, you will definitely see results by your 3rd month. You figure if you do that, that's 400 books a month. So by the 3rd month, you should hopefully have the buy box, and you should have around, we'll say, 1,000 books in inventory. Because starting out, you're not going to have the buy box, so you're not going to make as many sales as you would if you were buy box eligible. So yeah, 3 months, you send in 100 books a week. That's going to put you right around probably 900 to 1,000 inventory. And once you start building up on that 1,000, you're just going to see, that you're going to make more money. And it really depends how much money you need to live. I'm living in Pennsylvania. If you're living in the Hollywood Hills of California, it's going to cost you a whole lot more money. I'm not into crypto. I have a 401k and a Roth, but no crypto for me. I'm all just in mutual funds, your run-of-the-mill stocks. And I've been getting smoked like all the crypto people have too. The economy's it's crushing the stocks right now. My YouTube editor that edits one of my videos every week, he's big into crypto. And he's just saying it's across the board. We're all getting crushed. Hey, I'm glad it worked for you, Joe. Just remember now, since my method worked, I get 99% of the profit of every sale. I don't know if you read that in the description of the video, but yeah, 99% of the profit now goes to me. So, nah, I can't do crypto, man. Crypto it's too It's too risky, honestly. I understand it has like a place, it has a purpose and a place, but for me, it's too risky. Just my mutual funds will do pretty decent. Russell, I believe there is. So if you're running on an individual account versus a professional account, um, I believe there is a difference. I'm pretty sure they almost want you to always be a professional account. And honestly, if you're doing the individual account, you should basically get it to a point where you're selling more than 40 items a month. So once you're selling more than 40 items a month, because it's $1 an item, you should be upgrading anyway because it's cheaper. So I think what I would do if I was in that situation, I would get my sales up to where I'm selling 40 a month or even 35, and I'm switching to a professional account. Make sure you have a review. Amazon doesn't like it. I don't care what Amazon likes. Have a friend or family member that lives at a different address leave you a review, a 5-star review, so you're no longer just launched. You have a review that'll also speed up the buy box frequency. And it's just random, like I'm still not buy box eligible in DVDs or CDs. Last time I checked, I'm gonna look right now, and some people in the group are, and they literally got ungated in CDs and DVDs after me. So it's pretty random. Yeah, I'm still not ungated in it. So it's just one of those things. My long-term vision is to make enough money where I can max out my retirement every year, live comfortably, put some money away, and that's it. I don't want to be, I don't want to be a trillionaire. I just want to live comfortably, and I want to have a lot of free time. I value time more than I do money. So I want to get it to a point where maybe I'm working 30 hours a week in my Amazon business. I'm making enough money to cover every single bill. I want to max out my retirement every year. And then from there, I basically just want to, have processes in place where I maybe can take a step back. Maybe I hire somebody to do the listing for me or something like that. Do you still undercut by a cent? Oh man, don't be recording this and sending it out to everybody because it's going to piss everybody off. Of course, I still undercut by a cent. Listen, buy box is influenced by price primarily. So if that's what influences the buy box, then I want to be the buy box. I always want to be the buy box. So yes, I undercut by a penny, but don't go telling people that because then nobody's going to like me because everybody hates people that undercut by a penny. But honestly, that's just how I roll. Yep, you can request. Listen, they make it too easy to get bad reviews removed, honestly, because maybe the review was correct. Maybe, if it's a 2-pack and you only sold them a 1-pack and they leave you a review saying, hey, it was only a 1, I was supposed to get 2, and you can strike out that review, it kind of makes the feedback percentage skewed because it's so easy to get rid of the bad reviews. Yeah, free time. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. How long do you think will be before Amazon takes off in Australia? It really depends on how much infrastructure they have down there. I'm curious to see what is Amazon's presence down there. Like, is there warehouses all over the place? Presence in Australia. See, now you got me going down the rabbit hole here, trying to figure out what's going on in Australia, Amazon. I don't know. I mean, from what I'm seeing, all the news articles seem like Amazon has been growing significantly year over year down there since they launched the marketplace in 2017. So, I mean, you figure what? This is year 5. If they launched in 2017, So if it's growing year over year, I know there's a lot of people that just sell books specifically on eBay down there in Australia. I know it's a little different because, from my understanding, you can't sell used goods on Amazon in Australia. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If I read your comment here, I would know that. Yeah. You can only sell new at the moment. Yeah. So that kind of it's kind of weird. Like, you have to leverage eBay, unfortunately, down there when it comes to media. But at some point, they're gonna open it up to used stuff. But it's just a matter of when. Yeah, and they probably don't have a lot of space. So if they're still building all, I mean, we have like literally like 4 or 5 of those little Amazon, like, yeah. See, so once you know they're doing the trial, they're gonna roll it out to everybody. That's how it works with anything. It's like YouTube. Whenever they're like, "Oh, we're gonna roll this out to the bigger YouTubers," and then before you know it, everybody has access to it. So, um, there's nothing wrong with FBM. If I had the space, you could 100. FBM is super easy. It's the same thing. All you're doing is basically just picking and packing your own stuff, and you usually get your money quicker. FBM. Impacted DVD, dude, you can't beat it. I mean, some of these CDs I got, we're talking, I'm paying 20 cents a piece. And some of these CDs I got are $80 profit. So 20 cents into $80 profit. I don't even know the math here. I got to pull up the calculator. What is the... That's like 25,000 ROI. I love CDs. DVDs, it's a little tougher. DVDs, the ROI is, it's probably almost the same as books, maybe a little bit higher, depending on, what you're finding. But CDs are the way to go. The only thing that sucks with CDs is like you run into a lot that don't have barcodes. So what I do is I scan all the one with the barcodes. I'll separate all the ones that don't have barcodes. But all you got to do is cover scan this with the Amazon Seller app, and it'll pull up the exact CD. So it takes a little bit more time, but I definitely, when you do bulk buys with CDs, make sure you're scanning them all, even if you got to sit there and scan the cover of them. It's still worth it. I hope it happens. I sell used on eBay and Depop at the moment. I get some new stuff on Amazon that I get all right. Yeah, it'll happen. I mean, Amazon, they want their fees at the end of the day. We're all paying them. That's why Bezos is rich. We're paying him all of our fees, so it'll happen. It's just a matter of time. They probably want to make sure, they got everything squared away and they have the space because, once it happens and they start selling used stuff, every person on eBay in Australia that is selling used stuff, well, the people that don't want to deal with, people, everybody's going to go to Amazon right away, and it's probably going to be a huge, it's going to be a huge flood of everybody sending their used stuff to sell on Amazon. Hey, Bozos is the OG bookseller. Once I make like $1 billion in a year on Amazon, I'll get a tattoo of them on me. But if you get heavy into CDs and DVDs, make sure you get a resurfacer of some kind, because you're going to run into a lot of the older stuff that's worth more money is going to be scratched up, so you're going to have to resurface a lot of it. Oh yeah, for sure. It's kind of like fourth quarter. You know, once you hit a certain point in fourth quarter, a lot of the people that are heavy into like FBA, if they're doing like retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, they start FBMing because the wait times will probably be months. I really haven't ran into it where it's more than like 3 weeks, but that's a lot of time for people that are dumping, you know, $10,000 into a single item. They got to sell it. So it would 100% be an advantage to do FBM. The fees are lower. Your money clears quicker. There's a lot of benefits to it. You just got to have the space, and you got to have basically an inventory process where you know, hey, you know, somebody bought this CD today, and you know exactly what shelf to go to get it. So for books, people are doing 6 figs profit a month. Yeah, it's possible. I think it's like 3 of the top 10 sellers on Amazon are actually book selling accounts. I know that's crazy, right? That sounds crazy that there's people that do that kind of volume. But if you can streamline your sources, that's what I say. So you want the books to come to you at the end of the day because you can't drive around for 24 hours a day going to thrift stores scanning profitable books. So you want to have bulk sources where you're paying, you know, 7 cents a pound and you're getting them by the truckload. You know, you got me and Urban sitting there scanning all the books for you, listing all your books, and you just keep rolling with it. You just have to do it at scale. Instead of me being in my little room, you know, I'm in a big warehouse, and you just 10x your supply, and then you 10x your income. You can easily. I mean, it's not easy, but if you start the right way and build your business the right way, you can definitely do 6 figures in profit a month on books. Because you figure 6 figures profit in months. What if you're doing textbooks? You're heavy into textbooks. That's probably like your ROI usually overall with books is a 50-50 split. But if you're doing textbooks, it's probably closer to 60-40. So you would have to do like 180K in a month to make 100K. Where can you buy truckloads? It depends. Some Goodwills will let you buy as many Gaylords as you want. Um, David, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Hey, if you ever need anything, David, reach out. I have responded to every single YouTube comment I have had for like for 3 years. So I mean, if you ever have a question, anything like that, drop a comment. I'll respond to it at some point in the day. Yeah, but yeah, you can buy truckloads. You just gotta, you know, reach out to your local thrift stores and email them or go in and ask to speak to the manager. And you probably can get better rates if you go in and you work with local places versus, I mean, I would stay away from the bigger ones. It's just because the bigger ones, everybody would, if they were all profitable, everybody would use them. Yo, what's up, Checkmate? So Checkmate has a pretty cool channel. So what he does is he looks for used, at least the videos I've watched, he looks for used electronics on eBay to flip on Amazon. So it's kind of like, you know, it's online arbitrage, but he's basically doing it for used electronics. I've always thought about doing it, but I mean, I'm not the best with computers. Like, it takes a lot for me to figure things out. So I know, you know, there's programs that make it easier for you, but he'll basically find like, you know, a printer or a camera, a webcam, find somebody selling on eBay, figure out how much he's got to sell it for to make his, I think you shoot for what, 40% ROI, at least 30% ROI. So he knows what he has to pay for it to make it. And all he does is just flip them from eBay to Amazon. I mean, it's kind of foolproof. I mean, as long as you have the knowledge. And it's the first time I've ever seen anybody do anything like this. And it's kind of smart because, you know, you're putting in the time, you're doing the work, and nobody else is doing that, at least that I've ever seen or heard of. So I think it's pretty cool. It's something like maybe down the road, you know, if I hurt myself and I can't lift, you know, 50-pound boxes of books anymore, that'd be something like that's the road I would kind of go down to see like, hey, let me flip something I can buy on eBay that's small, send it to a prep center, and they can just send it in and sell it used. I mean, it's smart. He's killing it. He makes a whole bunch of money. He makes a whole bunch more money than I do. What advice do you have for scaling? We are a 2-person team. I like the daily average to be at least 500. Currently sitting on average of 200. What are you doing for sourcing? Are you just doing thrift stores for sourcing? Give me some more info. Give me a little bit more info on what you're doing to source books. So when you buy Gaylords, would you say a majority of the time it's profitable, or is it really shot in the dark? When you're buying Gaylords, you don't know what you're getting. So all the bigger sellers that do Gaylords, they say do a test buy. I wouldn't say go buy a truckload from Checkmate, because you don't know. Checkmate just might be another seller who wants to get rid of his duds, throw a few profitable ones in there, and it's nothing. Or Checkmate, maybe he isn't scanning the stuff, and you buy a Gaylord and it's super profitable. But you have to realize, even if it's a good, profitable Gaylord, the definition of profitable is maybe 10 to 12% accept. If you get 15%, that's really good. So you got to find a way to monetize your duds. That's the biggest thing. The hardest thing you can do is monetize your duds. So you got to figure out what you're going to do with the other 85% of books that aren't profitable. Are you going to, have a weekly yard sale? Are you going to, get rid of them through a buyback company? I mean, you have to squeeze every penny out of books that aren't profitable. That's the biggest headache when it comes to dealing with bulk books. Palette is media. So do you feel like you need to be finding more? Have you tried to maybe get more into the bulk side of it? Because I feel like the thrift stores are going to take too much time out of you. If you want to scale, you're going to need more bulk than you're going to need thrift stores. I'm not saying completely phase out thrift stores, but if you want to keep ramping up and you want to keep sending in more, which is basically going to make you more money at the end of the day, you're just going to have to do more bulk. Definitely keep the thrift stores, because you can go in thrift stores and make a killing. So it's like you got to have that. That's always going to be your bread and butter. But if you want to scale up, you're going to just need to find more stuff, which is going to be more bulk. I'm not sure what kind of platforms you have going on down there that like you have where maybe you can reach out, or like neighborhood apps, like where Nextdoor or something like that. I'm not sure. I probably doubt Craigslist is down there. The process. Are you using listing software? That's the first question I have for you. Yo, what's up, Brian? How's it going? Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow hanging out on the call. Yeah, 30-40%. So, I mean, he crushes it with Use Electronics. You got to check out his channel. It's pretty cool how he does it. And he breaks it all down, so like anybody could go do it. It's just you got to understand how the system works and everything like that. I mean, I won't say anybody can do it, but he makes it seem like, I could go buy a Logitech webcam tonight and sell it on Amazon and make, 40% on it. I'm not sure, Brian. I think it depends where you're at. You are basically dependent on in your area for the most part. I know it's kind of like regional. I'm not sure if they are around me, because I don't have to use them, because I use Second and Charles, and anything Second and Charles doesn't take, and they take most of it, I throw in the free bin. Oh, I prep myself. 100% prep yourself in books. The cost per item for prep centers for books is going to eat into your profits too much. Prep yourself. It's not that hard. If it gets to be too much of a headache prepping, then buy a listing software. Sorting through my CT bids buy, 136 books for 64 bucks. What are you finding? You hitting anything? I mean, did you do a little research before you bid on the stuff? You do everything manually. You got to get a listing software. So you're at the point now where if you're averaging 200 bucks, you have to get a listing software. I'm not sure what's available to you down there. I would assume you can use any of the big ones. You have the one I use is Inventory Labs. I'm going to make a video on it, but it's not a necessity. I just picked it because it's kind of easy and other people have it. So if I needed help, they could help me. But there's like Anon said, there's a seller list, Inventory Labs, Scan Lister. There are so many of these things. Do a little research. But once you have the listing software, how much, I mean, I guess it really depends. Are you spending a lot of time like prepping your shipments every week? Like, are you wasting a lot of time? You feel like you're spending too much time prepping a box and labeling everything and getting it out the door? Yeah. See, so I just signed up for Inventory Labs Checkmate, so I'm kind of screwed because I've been using QuickBooks. So I'm already committed to QuickBooks for the year. Um, so I'm going to stick with my QuickBooks till the end of the year, and then at the once the new year starts, I'm going to switch it over to Inventory Labs as my bookkeeping along with my listing software. But yeah, Inventory Labs has bookkeeping. They also have like I forget what it's called, maybe Scoutify or something. They have an app too that's kind of like Scout IQ. Listing takes forever. Yeah, but see, you got to put in your time, right? You got to do your time to get through it, right? So I didn't have a listing software up until May, I think, or June. So for the first 3 years of me selling books, even if I was sending out 10 boxes of books in a week, I manually listed every single one through Seller Central. I manually put in the condition notes and I manually labeled, I dealt with the 30 up label pages that aren't in any kind of order. So, I mean, I did my time, and I don't like people rushing into getting software just to get it. You got to justify the purchase, in my opinion. So, I probably should have got one a long time ago, but I'm cheap. I want to save, an extra $50 in my pocket every month, but I don't regret it. Like Deb said, it saves me so much time. Just a photo on the website, missed the walkthrough. Hey, as long as you come out ahead, that's all that matters. I think today my CT bids we went and picked up, I think it was $80 total, and it's probably around probably a little over 1,000 pounds of books for $80. So the work sucks loading it and going through it, but you can't beat the price. If it was just one person, how many book gaylords can one reasonably go through in a day? That would depend on your setup. Do you have a process in place? So do you have like a sorting table? Some of these bigger warehouses have dumpers and tilters and sorting tables and conveyor belts. If you're talking, I just show up with the Gaylord and you have to climb in the Gaylord, get the books out, scan them. I mean, you'll be lucky if you get through 2 Gaylords a day. But if you can figure out a process to where maybe if you don't have any of that fancy machinery, you cut open the side of the Gaylord, you stack all the books barcode up. Just have a process in place. Try to figure out what works best when it comes to saving yourself time. And you probably could get through, I would say, one person. If you have a good process, you could probably get through like three, maybe 4, depending on how fast you were moving. Want my profits to justify paying for? Yep, I 100% agree. That's why I tell people, don't rush into a repricing software. You don't need a listing software. Urban listing seems to be the time suck. You got to look into listing softwares. They all have free trials because they all want to basically suck you in. So, Inventory Labs, for example, free trial. They don't even ask for any credit card information. You just put in your information. There's already videos out there, so you don't got to wait for mine. There's plenty of people that do walkthroughs for Inventory Labs and even all the other ones. And just try them out, see what works. The big benefit, Urban, is that so when you use Inventory Labs, so you have all your books, as you scan in say we scan this CD in, it prints your label right there. So what I do is I'll scan in a stack of books and pull off my labels from the Dymo. So when I go back through to label them, they're all in order. So there's no searching and looking through your 30 up labels. Everything's in order. You can fly through it right away. I mean, it's so easy. 29 cents a pound. All right. I mean, 30 cents, that's not bad. I'm sure I'll be curious to know how much you make off it at the end. So make sure you keep track of it. How do you crush your local competition? Just Be smarter than them. Like I said, I have people that do free book pickup. Pay for the books. It's not a big deal if you're paying by the pound. People want to sit at the Goodwill bins all day. Let them sit at the bins. Who cares about them? Go think outside the box. You know, I have a library that once a month they call me up. Hey, we got a carload of books for you. I get a free carload of books every month from a library. Imagine if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those sources where basically once a month you go and you get all this free inventory. You got to work smarter, not harder. You don't want to be out all day spending your whole life in thrift stores scanning stuff people already scan. Go to smaller thrift stores. Most people that do this, they're going to sit at your Goodwills, your Salvation Armies, your Savers. They're not going to go to, you know, Mike's hole in the wall thrift shop that's, you know, 10 miles out of the way in the middle of nowhere. That's where you're going to find the good stuff, and that's where it's going to be the cheapest. Yeah, just think about like what the most generic reseller would do and do the opposite. The generic reseller, they want to put in the most minimum effort, so they'll go sit at one thrift store all day. And if they find stuff, they find stuff. If not, oh well. That's pretty good. I've been thinking about doing it full time. I can find at least 2 or 3 sources. That way, if one goes away, I won't be panicking. Yeah, and with time, you know, you have all that stuff out there. So I got my free library source from my Craigslist ad that says I pay for books. But, you know, you realize you're providing people a service, so the library has all this overflow of books that they get donated that they don't want or they already have, so then it goes to me. So it's like, you know. And Deb's right. Do a test buy. If you're going to buy Gaylords from somebody, make sure you do a test buy. Don't go all in. And be straight up with them. Like, hey, you know, I plan on selling these, so, you know, I want to see if it's going to be profitable. I'm not looking to, if you sell them as well, I'm not looking to buy like your duds. Just be straight up with people. Honestly, that's my best piece of advice. How do you get the free cart set up through the libraries? You just have enough lines out there so that, hey, everybody knows Anon's the book guy. And, you know, for example, in the Harrisburg area, I want everybody to know, like, hey, Mike's the book guy. If you got books, Mike will take them off your hands. He'll give you a few bucks. It takes time to kind of build that rapport in your community. You want to have flyers, free ads posted on all these platforms. I mean, it's all free stuff. So it's not like you're even spending money. A lot of big books. Guy was retired Army. A lot of books that are not available from regular bookstores, military. Oh, yeah, so you should definitely make out. Sitting in the drive-thru with El Polo and Loco. Give me some food. Don't be holding out. I was talking about you earlier, how you have the buy box for used DVDs, and I still don't have the buy box for used DVDs. My DVD, well, my Blu-rays I bought from Big Lots have officially been received at Amazon, so I'll be curious to see how they do. It looks like the prices are still where I expect them to be, right between the $14 and $20 mark, so it looks like they haven't tanked too bad yet. So I'll be curious to see how the Big Lots DVD Blu-rays do. I'm like officially, you know, retail arbitrage. Next thing you know, I'm going to be going into Targets and buying toys and all that stuff. Psych. Okay, so back to the buy box. I have 1 5-star rating. When do I get to use buy box or eligible, I mean? So have you checked to see if you're eligible right now? Do you know how to check to see if you're eligible? Crazy chicken. Hope the Big Lots haul does well for you. Listen, I only spent $1.25, so I mean, I'll at least get my money back. It was kind of just like I hear it a lot in my comments, so I just kind of wanted to do it just to make a video about it. So if anybody ever asks, oh, do you go to Dollar Tree to get DVDs or Big Lots? And then I can be like, yeah, I did it. I don't know how. Okay, so what you want to do is Amazon Seller Central on the computer or the desktop on your phone. And then you want to go to Inventory tab, Manage Inventory. So when you get to this page, it's going to show you everything, you know. It's going to show you the product name, the date created, how many is available, the fees, the price, the sales rank. And then next to the sales rank, you should have a column that says Featured Offer Eligible. So featured offer eligible just means whether or not it can be in the buy box. So you're going to see a yes or no there. So if it says yes, then you are buy box eligible for that item. If it says no, then you are not buy box eligible for that item. And it differs. So I'm buy box eligible for new Blu-rays and DVDs, not used. So you have to scroll through and make sure, you know, it's for new versus used. But you shouldn't be selling new books anyway, so it should be pretty straightforward. Family Video was a decent source when they were still around. Some of the used DVDs were good or used. Maybe Family, it sounds familiar, but I don't remember them. Family Video. Okay, so it was like the rural Blockbuster. I had Blockbuster and Hollywood Videos around me, but I feel like I've heard of Family Video. Free book pickup got you 22 $10 profit books, 6 others high e-scores but low profit. Hey, and that wasn't even that many books, right? You said it was only like 35 books or like one box of books. So, I mean, that ain't bad at all. I got to finish this stack of DVDs before I head out of this room. That's my goal tonight. Might have been more Midwest thing. It's in Stranger Things season 4 as the kids head. Oh, maybe that's where I seen it from because me and Deb watched that. That's funny. Yeah, so 20 books. You figure if you hit five profitable books out of there, that puts you at what, a 20% accept rate, which is, just imagine if you always had a 20% accept rate. I'd be a billionaire by now. I'm pretty sure I have, I'll get the buy box, Bob. It'll happen, you know. They just don't like me. I have officially passed 150,000 lifetime scans. Onwards to 200,000 scans. Oh, you couldn't see it. That was a terrible view. Anyway, my lifetime scans on Scout IQ were 151,336. If you're selling items you're not gated in, why would you not be buy box eligible? Basically, they don't trust that you've been in that category long enough to provide a consistent experience for the customer. So you just start selling, you know, CDs, DVDs, and even though you're not gated in it, they're like, hey, well, we don't know what this guy's sending in. So they want to see basically a track record of you selling stuff that isn't getting returned, maybe a few reviews in that category. And then they say, hey, we can trust Russell. He knows what he's doing. The stuff people are buying that we're sending from his account, it's all good stuff. We're not getting any returns, getting feedback in that category. That's just how it works with used stuff. They just want to make sure that the person doing it knows what they're doing. So if I don't see featured offer eligible, I'm not eligible, not seeing that and manage. Okay, so you have to add that column. So on the right up top, you're going to see preference, and it's going to say how many columns you have hidden. If you click on that, you can go in and check off what filters are going to show up. And there's a featured offer eligible one, and you want to make sure you have that one checked off, and that it'll show you exactly. So you're just not seeing that filter because you don't have it checked off. So right in that manage inventory page, preference, click on that, and then you can add it. Yeah, Amazon is strange. It's it works in weird ways. There's no rhyme or reason, and that kind of what frustrates a lot of people is if they would just say, hey, you know, this is how you get the buy box, then everybody would be happy. But they like making our lives difficult. So another thing, if you get into CDs and DVDs, make sure you keep extra cases from bulk buys. So when you run into broken ones like this, you can just swap them out with cases you have from your duds from other bulk buys, so you don't have to go out and spend the money to buy new cases. So I have a whole stack down here from previous bulk buys that are just duds that I couldn't do nothing with, but the cases were in good shape, so I keep that supply on hand for when I got to swap them out. It takes a little bit of time to figure out how to pop these off, but once you figure it out, it's super easy to do. I have the JFJ Easy Pro. It is it's linked in the description of all my videos. I think it costs $200, and I was listen, I'm cheap, so $200 is a lot of money to me. So I did a lot of research. I had Deb do a lot of research. I watched a million different YouTube videos, and I felt like that was the best one for the price. So, I mean, it cost you $200, but this thing, it literally makes any disc I put in there look brand new, no matter how scratched up it is. And it's super easy to do. But yeah, that's the one I have. I love it. There's all kinds of ones out there. Yeah, Eco Pro, that was the other one. That was the other brand I was looking at. It's crazy how expensive some of those resurfacers can be. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars for some of those more fancy models. I'm like, I'm out here sweating over $200. You don't. It's probably because it's a live stream. I think that link's just in my actual videos description. But yeah, some of these resurfacers are super expensive. There ain't no way, even if I was making crazy money, that's a little too crazy for me. Good idea. I save my loose dud CDs and sell them on eBay as a 200 CD miscellaneous slot, $21, and make them pay shipping. Not a ton of money, but they sell. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole name of the game, right? You got to find out how to make money off the stuff that isn't worth it. If you can figure that out, even if you're not like, even if you're not consistently, you know, selling them, as long as you're getting some kind of money back on them, you're good to go. That's the hardest part of selling media, is figuring out what to do with your duds. Thankfully, I have Second and Charles that me and Deb get to store credit, buy ourselves, you know, Pokemon cards, Funko Pops, whatever we want with it. So, all right. No way that's supposed to be in here, right? Yes, story is what we're looking for. Disc 1. Disc 2. Yay. That one had a bonus disc in it. Dance Party Favorites, Volume 4. It's got the Macarena on it. Oh yeah, store credit's awesome. Another thing we do with the store credit is Christmas gifts and everything. You just see the lines for each listing. None of mines have the lines. Maybe it's going to take a little bit for it to load since you just added the filter. Give it a little bit of time, but you'll see a yes or no there, and that'll make it, and you'll know. Yes, we use the store credit for Christmas gifts for people. Whenever we feel like buying ourselves something. And they always give you like double the store credit versus the cash. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take the store credit. I think it takes a day or two to show up. There you go. Okay, yeah, it says no. That's unfortunate. When yes. Call Jeff Bezos at 1-800-JEFF-777. He'll pick up and he'll let you know when your time's up. It's like hitting a lottery, right? They choose like 1 or 2 people every day out of the tens of thousands of sellers. And they're like, all right, this person now can be buy box eligible. We think they can be trusted enough. Putting stuff in the wrong stack here. One 1-800-BOZOS buy box. All right, so it's 8 o'clock. I got to get out of here. Usually I stay late, but I'm exhausted, and I got the call tomorrow. So that's gonna do it. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Like I said, you got any questions? Email, comment. I respond to them all. Urban, look into listing software 100%. Let me know what you find out there that works good down there for you. I don't do these often, not at all. I only do them 2 times a month, and believe it or not, this will probably be the last one I do, at least for the next month, because I do Zoom calls every weekend. So it's we have at least an hour-long call every Sunday, so that takes up a lot of my time. Thanks for hanging out, Brian. Get better from your surgery. Yeah, I have a Zoom call every week that it's for YouTube members. So if you join the channel, It's basically it's a bunch of media sellers on Amazon, and we go over a topic every week, sit down for an hour, shoot ideas off each other, fix problems, etc. So yeah, I have a call every Sunday. We do it. Yeah, it's just I don't have the time. I'm so backed up. Like honestly, like doing this one, I probably shouldn't have. I'm so behind on work, and I have like I got a car full of books, and then I got another car. I got a carload I got to pick up early this week, so I'm up to my butt in inventory, which isn't a bad thing. It's just time consuming, and it doesn't help that it's 100 degrees out. So, all right, everybody, I am out of here. Reach out if you need me. Thanks for hanging. Stay cool. Deb wants her ice cream. I'm going to get her ice cream and her waffle cone and sit in the air conditioner. I've been sitting out here without no air conditioner as well, so I probably lost 3 pounds of sweat. Anyway, thanks for